Hello, members of the Pride, and welcome to another vlog, and let's talk about COPPA. So, first of all, let me start by saying I am not an expert on this. This is simply my take on a situation that has just hit, well, not just hit, but about a week or two ago hit YouTube with the force of a thunderbolt, and it has thrown we, the content creators, into a bit of a spiral. And it's actually threatening to shut down an enormous number of YouTube channels, and it's just bad business. And I wanted to talk to you about what COPPA is, how it's going to be affecting my channel, and just kind of bring us up to speed on as much as I understand of it. Once again, I want to say I'm not an expert on this, and I've already made my decision on what I'm going to do with my channel. But okay, so let's just get started with this. What is COPPA? COPPA is a law that was put into place a long time ago, and it is it stands for the Child Online Privacy Protection Act. And the entire purpose of this set of laws was to prevent the exploitation of children online. And this is absolutely a good thing. I am absolutely not bad-mouthing the COPPA laws. I think they needed to be put into place. I think they do an enormous amount of good protecting children. One of the things that that the COPPA laws protect children against is targeting ads. And what it is once upon a time there were ads that were being directly targeted towards children, and it basically would try to convince them that, hey, go out, spend your money on these things over here, or hey, you need to believe in a certain thing over here. And so what COPPA did was basically lay down the law and say, from now on, no targeting ads towards children, period. All of your ads will target adults, or at least teenagers. Essentially, anybody under the, I believe it's anybody under the age of 13. Well, that's all fine and dandy. Those laws have been in place for a long time, many years, and YouTube was ignoring them. And that's kind of the what it had. That was the whole point of the COPPA lawsuit against YouTube, is that basically the government caught YouTube with its hand in the cookie jar, targeting ads at children. And COPPA said, no, you won't do this. There was a big lawsuit. YouTube fought it and lost. And now, because of the lawsuit, not only did YouTube pay a big bunch of fines, they have to now change their format to reflect properly the COPPA regulations that have been put into place. Here's the problem. YouTube is not really taking responsibility for this. What they're doing is, rather than doing their job, they're putting all the onus on we, the content creators, and trying to basically shoehorn us into creating content that is either only kid-friendly, period, nothing else, just kid-friendly, boom, that's it, or content that is good for everyone else. And this is, as you can imagine, really, really messing with a great many channels as they currently stand, including, to some extent, mine. Because the reason why it's messing with us so much is YouTube is saying, you're going to do this, or we're going to cancel your channel. Or we're going to change your channel for you without your permission, and we're just going to do it because, well, we have to do it because the government's making us. Okay, yeah, and it's true that we, the content creators, do have a certain amount of responsibility for the content we create, but the way YouTube is handling this is very bad. What they're doing is they are now requiring us to shoehorn our content, and it must now fall into these. You're either child friendly or you're everyone friendly. And if you are child friendly, you have to fall into this very, very, very tight set of regulations. Because here's the real problem, it's all about ad targeting. It's all YouTube's fault. YouTube did this. It wasn't the content creators that did this. It wasn't we content creators. I don't know if you know this, but we content creators have no control whatsoever over the ads that get played over our videos. None. We don't know what they are until we bring up our video and go, oh, those are the ads. Okay. And those ads change. I mean, you could watch a video one time and get one set of ads, and then watch the video a second time and get an entirely different set of ads. We have no control over this. None. The only control we have in terms of ads are what the style of ads are, like those little banners ads that come at the bottom of the screen, or like the ads that pop up halfway through a show, but okay, those are the style of ads, but we have no idea what ads, where they're coming from, what kind of ads they're about, who they're targeting. We've got no say over this. None. There's no, I mean, it's all on YouTube. So for YouTube to suddenly go, well, that's the content creator's fault. It's their fault. We were just putting out the ads. That's completely disingenuous, and it's completely false. Because YouTube was the ones that were doing all the ads for this, and they should have been looking at the different ads. Different videos, and saying, well, obviously this is inappropriate for children. And so we're not going to put these children-friendly ads onto it. We'll just not put ads on that at all. Because that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be that if you are child-friendly, you cannot place any ads at all. Period. If somebody puts up Peppa Pig, you're going to see Peppa Pig through the whole thing, and you're not supposed to see any ads at all. That's how it's supposed to be, because you're not supposed to have any ads that target children. Now, I know what you're saying. What about television and movies and all that different stuff? This is the Child Online Privacy Protection Act. Okay, bear in mind there's an entirely different set of laws that cover television and all that different stuff. In terms of the online community, no ads are supposed to be targeting children. That's COPPA. That's the law. So rather than YouTube taking responsibility, looking at it at the individual videos and going, well, this is obviously very child-centered. We can't put ads on this. Nope, no more. No, they didn't do that. That's too much work, even though that's literally their entire life and their entire job. Anyway, you kind of have the idea. So what they're doing is they're putting all the responsibility and all of the onus on we, the content creators. And what they're doing is they are saying from now on, you must identify your channel as being strictly for children or strictly for everyone else. And if you are strictly for children, we're no longer going to be playing any ads on your content. Oh, and by the way, you can't run any personal ads or any sort of personal sponsorships or anything else on your video either. So in other words, everybody who's child-friendly isn't getting paid anymore. That's how screwed up this is. Because we content creators, we get paid through our ads. We don't get paid in any other way. We don't get any money from this in any other way. We get paid by sponsorships and by ads. And from now on, by the law that we all voted in, and honestly, I think is a really important law to keep. From now on, if you are going to do child-friendly stuff, you're not getting paid by YouTube for it anymore, because there's no. I'm sure they're going to have something else in place for that somehow. I'm not entirely sure, but If you can't play ads and you can't take sponsorships and you can't do anything whatsoever to your channel that indicates that you might be getting paid from an outside source, what are those people going to do? What, I really can't point towards a particular channel because I'm not going to go down that route. I don't know what each individual channel does. But let's just say there's a YouTube channel out there called, I don't know, Baby Builds Blocks. And it's all about this channel where there's cute babies and they're building blocks, and that's the entire channel. Well, obviously, the people who are going to be watching that are kids. It's going to be kids who are going to be watching that. That's a very child. And, the people who are doing the voiceovers on Baby Builds Blocks are, gee, isn't this the cutest thing in the world? And, gee, I wonder if he's going to learn something today. It's obviously very child-centered. It's all about the child. It's all about baby. It's all about young. This is obviously a child-centered channel. And there are a ton of child-centered channels out there. Lots of, YouTube channels that sing nursery rhymes and, shoot, go out and do a YouTube search for Baby Shark, and I guarantee you're going to find one heck of a popular, several popular channels that have just a bunch of these really adorable channels, these really cool people who are doing very good content work for children, all centered towards children and singing Baby Shark. And these are hardworking individuals who have busted their butts to be able to build a business around and create a very successful business around just doing something nice for kids. And then along comes YouTube, puts inappropriate ads onto those videos, and they blame the content. It's not the content creator's fault that this happened. It's YouTube's fault for putting the inappropriate ads on there, targeting the children, which is not what they're supposed to do. And now, because no more ads to those to Baby Builds Blocks, no more sponsorships to Baby Builds Blocks. Can't do it. Not allowed. It's illegal. So how the heck are these guys going to survive? Well, there are possibilities. I mean, they could get a Patreon, and they could do things like that, and maybe outside sources can do it. But take it from me. Patreon's nice and all, but most people don't contribute to Patreon. Most people don't contribute to Kickstarter. Most people don't contribute to XYZ thing to support a creator. They're just coming on to watch some videos. And it's the ads from those videos that pay that content creator's salary, that pay their bills. And for all of a sudden, Baby Builds Blocks to suddenly no longer have the ad revenue or the sponsorship paycheck for doing for doing their videos for their entire channel, well, you've just crushed that channel. You've just taken away a real huge source of income for that channel. And there are a ton of channels just like that. And it's crushing them. It's going to absolutely crush them. They're going to either have to reformat their entire setup completely, which will probably destroy them, or they're going to have to basically say, well, we're going to keep on doing this, and I guess we're just going to have to survive off of Patreon and other sources of revenue. And let's face it, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. They're not going to survive off of that. They're just not. And that's the reason why there are so many people who are terrified of this new COPPA controversy, because rather than YouTube taking responsibility, they're basically saying, well, you guys from now on, you have to fall within one or the other, not both. And you have to mark every video, every single video, or you have to mark your channel as a whole and make sure everything in that channel specifically says that you are one or the other. Now, how does this affect us? Well, all of you know that I run a family-friendly channel. But I have also said from the very beginning that while I am child-friendly, I am not child-exclusive. I also talk towards teenagers. I talk towards young adults. I talk towards old adults. Sometimes I cuss. Sometimes the games I play have a mature rating. It's a fact. I'm family-friendly, but I am not child-exclusive. So, just for those of you who are parents who are having your children watch my channel, you should know I am complying with the COPPA laws, and I am complying with YouTube's regulations. I have marked officially my channel as everyone else. I am not going to be child exclusive. There's no way I can. I'm a military man. Frankly, there's a lot of things we military do that should not be heard or watched by we military members. That's a fact. We are a rough, gruff bunch of guys. And while I try to keep my channel and my life PG, maybe sometimes PG-13, you know, I cannot honestly with you know, with an honest heart, honestly say that I am strictly only, and that's all, child-friendly. Can't do it. It's not going to happen. I might be a friendly guy, and I might be a nice guy, and I try to keep things very even keel, and I try to be, I try to have an appeal for everyone. There's no way I could be strictly child. Not going to happen. So... for you the viewers, you are probably going to find yourself suddenly seeing a massive amount of changes starting January 1st, 2020. You're going to start seeing all of the exclusive child stuff all getting thrown over to YouTube Kids. And you're going to start seeing a major change in the algorithms for YouTube in terms of what you're going to get to play, in terms of, is your content child-friendly? Is what you're watching child-friendly or not? And our side of the house is going to be not. Even though I am family-friendly and the content that I do is absolutely, for the most part, going to be appropriate for children. And when it's not, you all know, I mark every single one of my M-rated games with that very front thing at the beginning of every video. This video is, this game is rated M for mature. Parents should be aware. Blah 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 blah. I do that for every video that's M-rated, not just the beginning, but every video. I've always done that because I think it's a smart thing to do, that it's something that parents should be aware of, and I think it shouldn't just be that symbol that comes up saying M, and and it's something you can read. I think it needs to be audible. Smart parents should have two different accounts. Account number one, account for the child, for any child under the of 12 and under. And that account should be YouTube Kids, honestly. It should be YouTube Kids. If it's not, do it. You need to switch it over to YouTube Kids. Lock them into YouTube Kids. Don't let them go outside of YouTube Kids, period. And then, when you hand over your phone, and you say, or you hand over the computer, or whatever, and you say, okay, you can watch YouTube, here you go. Make sure you are logged into that child account. That's what you should do. And then you should have a second account over here that is your account, where you watch whatever videos you want to do. And if you want to watch inappropriate stuff, that's on you. But you should have two separate accounts. Problem is that too many parents don't do that. Too many parents just go, shut up, kid. Here, watch YouTube. Here's Peppa Pig. And they watch Peppa Pig on your account. The problem is that you have a tendency to also watch high school kids beat each other up. You also have a tendency to watch news reports where terrorism and war and people are dying. You also have a tendency to watch some nastier stuff. That also, I mean, granted, YouTube is cleaning up their act, but there's still a lot of foul stuff out there and a lot of nasty stuff out there on YouTube, and you like to watch that, let's say. And then you hand that off to the kid, and kid goes, "Ooh, Peppa Pig," and then Peppa Pig suddenly finishes that episode, and of course, YouTube's going to go to the algorithm. And it's going to go, okay, this account likes to watch gang violence over here. Okay, so the next video is gang violence. And here's the kid suddenly watching gang violence. That's how the algorithm is. And YouTube doesn't know that you just handed your phone off to your kid. How could they know? You're on the same account that has always liked watching gang violence. So of course it's going to send you to gang violence. And bear in mind, I'm using that as a just overarching, you kind of understand what I'm saying here, or at least I hope you do. But it's going to go by what you usually watch. Now, if you usually watch Peppa Pig and Arthur and kid-friendly stuff, and that's the only thing you watch, okay, then that's okay. That's basically become a kid-friendly only content, and you don't have to worry about, gang violence coming up. Or, music videos involving half-naked men and women doing whatever you consider to be inappropriate. You don't have to worry about that. If that's all you watch, then that's all they'll end up watching. But that's really what should, what I had said before really is what should be happening. You should have an account for them and an account for you. And if you're going to hand off your phone, you need to make sure you're logging in to that other account and make sure they're watching YouTube Kids. That's what you should be doing. Too many parents don't. Too many parents think, oh, the electronic babysitter, here you go, do your thing, kid. And because of irresponsible parenting, that's why COPPA had to get put into place. And that's why YouTube is now getting got that big slap on the hand. And rather than taking responsibility, they're putting all the onus onto us content creators. Because parents can't be parents. And I guess that's really what this is all about. Is that, once again, we are not being parents. We need to start being better parents. And if you're not being a better parent, start. Grow up. Start recognizing that you have a tiny version of yourself learning everything that you do. And if you're watching things that a child shouldn't watch and handing off your phone to that child thinking that YouTube is going to somehow protect you, you're wrong. That's not what YouTube is. YouTube is a vast, global, anything goes, well, mostly anything goes kind of content creation, and that's what it should be. It's intended to be artistic creation in every form. It's intended to be entertainment in every form. It's up to the consumer to do the right thing and make sure that your little 6-year-old, 7-year-old kid, 5-year-old kid, 4-year-old kid isn't being exposed to this awful stuff on your phone that you like to watch. That's what it really boils down to, being a responsible parent. It's the government forcing our, YouTube to be the parent for you. Shame on you if that's the case. Good for you if that's not the case. Good for you if you're being the right kind of parent, creating that separate account and making sure that your kids are watching the right thing. That's what a good parent does. And if you're a bad kind of parent who just goes, oh, I don't care, the YouTube will fix it or whatever, holy cow, are you being irresponsible? Shame on you if that's the case. And you know what? You can blow up my comments all day long. I don't care. The fact is, you're a bad parent. If you're actually thinking that the government An entity that has to cover literally hundreds of millions of people somehow knows the best for your one individual child. Shame on you. You should be a better parent. Start taking responsibility as a parent. And make that separate account. And make sure it's content that you, the parent, approve of for your child. That's how it should be. That's what parenting is. I had to do a whole lot of years of it. You can too. It's hard, but it's worth it. So anyway, I think I've covered everything that I wanted to cover, and I apologize if I have upset anybody or offended anybody. But the fact of the matter is, this COPPA thing has been mismanaged very badly. YouTube is blaming the content creators for its own fault, for not complying with the government's regulations, and it's now forcing us to either make massive changes to our content or to suddenly try to twist and turn everything so that we fall into one side or the other instead of trying to just be global for everybody. And it's punishing those channels that are strictly for kids, and rather than taking responsibility for themselves. And I mean, is it going to be the end of a lot of channels? Possibly. Is it going to be as bad as Adpocalypse? Possibly. This will crush a lot of channels, all because parents can't be parents, because parents are refusing to be parents. And all because YouTube can't be bothered to police its own algorithm and police its own website. This is a mess. It's a great big ugly mess. And I completely support COPPA. And as I said, it's not going to change this channel at all. I've already set us to not be for kids only, but that doesn't mean I'm going to change my format. I am still going to be family friendly. I am still going to be kid friendly. I'm just not going to be strictly only kid friendly. I never have. I never will be. I believe that my content needs to speak to everyone, not just kids. I don't need to be going out brainwashing kids. I just need to be teaching kids. And I need to be teaching teenagers, and I need to be teaching young adults, and I need to be teaching old adults. That's what I need to do for my channel. And I hope that I'm doing that for you. I hope I'm showing you guys a more moral life through my video game play. Because every time I play this game, I go into it with that mentality. Is how can I show you, the viewer, a moral life through this video game play? And sometimes you can't. I mean, let's face it. Games like Cat Quest 2, there's no moral dilemma in there. You're just, playing the video game. So it's kind of hard to really talk about stuff like that. In fact, usually, as much as people don't really like to watch the M-rated games on my channel, it's actually the M-rated games that tend to put up the most complex and morally dilemma questions that there are. And where I'm able to actually teach the most is through the M-rated games that go through those that approach those questions of what if. If suddenly you got suddenly placed into this dilemma, what would you do? What's the moral choice? And it's a little, it's kind of a little sad that my channel has kind of pushed. It seems to be pushing away from anything M-rated, and that's okay. That's okay. I don't mind doing T games, and I don't mind doing the E games. I love those games too. I love the games that I play. If I didn't love a game, then I wouldn't play it. And if I get bored with a game, I quit it. Even if it's something that other people are popular, that think is popular, I'll quit it anyway. So because when it all comes down to it, this is my channel, and this channel has to reflect me. And everything that I do is a reflection of me. And you all learn me through my video game play, as well as I'm able to show you what I think is the right way to live through my video game play. And so, I don't know. I've kind of gotten off on a tangent here, and I apologize. I wonder. I don't even know how long this video has been running. Oh my gosh, I've been going for a half an hour. So I'll go ahead and end this here. If you have any questions about COPPA, I urge you to go to the Child Online Privacy Protection Act websites, read up on it. It's actually very thorough, and it's actually very good for protecting our kids. And if you want to read about the lawsuit that YouTube got hit and why YouTube's doing what it's doing, there are an enormous number of YouTube videos out there, much like mine, that talk about COPPA. A lot of them are saying, hey, COPPA is good. A lot of people are saying, hey, COPPA is bad. A lot of people are saying YouTube is bad for the way they're doing it, kind of like I am. Others are saying, hey, YouTube doesn't have a choice. They have to do their things. There's a lot of apologetics. There's a lot of accusers. But if you watch a wide variety, you can kind of generally get the idea, and you can form your own opinion. This is simply my opinion on how on how this has gone. And in any case, this channel is going to keep motoring on, and we're going to do what we do because that's what we do. And hopefully you guys keep on watching me, and you keep enjoying what I'm putting out. Make sure to pass the word. Spread the word of squeaking lions everywhere. And in any case, guys, that's going to do it for this particular vlog. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, do the liking and the subscribing and the commenting down below. You guys are phenomenal fans, and I truly appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, everyone, always remember that anyone can be a mouse that roars, but it takes someone special to be a lion that squeaks. So embrace your inner lion and squeak on! And seriously, parents, do a separate account for your children, for Pete's sake. Just, it's not hard. It's really easy. It's literally just, and if you want to switch accounts, it's literally like the little 3 dots, and it drops down, and it comes up, which account do you want to log into? You know, you log out, which account do you want to log into? Kid-friendly, brings it up. Here you go, Sonny. It takes 5 seconds. Your children are worth 5 seconds. That's all I'm saying.